let's rock and roll with this today. And today we're having a topic conversation that's one it's somewhat taboo, but I don't think it's that taboo. But we need to talk about it sometimes. Here's the conversation: money loves motion. That's today's topic. Money loves motion. We're having this little discussion today because I think it's one that a lot of people don't like to talk about. I'm gonna give you a little background of this conversation. So, growing up in my household, we were really poor. We didn't have very much. In fact, I recall the backyard. We at one point didn't have a basketball hoop, could not afford a basketball hoop. So what we did is we got these two like rickety old metal chairs, all rusted. We took the legs off and took the back and the seats that were regular, and we flipped them and put them together like that. We mounted up on a wall. So it's like this, put it up on a wall, and that was our basketball hoop. Good morning, Luke Chapel. That was our basketball hoop, but we didn't have much. So I'm just telling you, man, I grew up, really, really poor. I make this really bad joke. I was the only black kid in an all-white family. We grew up really poor. So I tell people, hey, we grew up poor white trash. It's a really bad joke, man. But this is my joke. Good morning, Mel. How you doing? Good morning. We got Angel on here. Good morning to you. Go morning. Good morning. She says, oh, that's the long O's. I'm happy today. I'm in a great mood. I don't know why I wake up happy. I got a presentation later today with a company out in Florida. I'm looking forward to giving them some soul. Let me soul glow. If you guys ever seen that before, it's a call. It's a video that comes in play during a movie called Coming to America, the first one. Hey, Ellie Sheffy, how are you? Good morning, guys. Go check her out. She's awesome. Nancy Smith. Hey, so let's get into this thing. Money likes motion. Money loves motion. When I was a kid, man, growing up, we didn't have much. We didn't talk about money. It's kind of interesting. Because we didn't talk about it. And I find that in my household, we talk about this very frequently because I want my kids to not be in the space where I think a lot of people are, which is this. What you don't talk about, you don't know very well. We talk about love, relationships. We talk about, things we see on TV. So we know it well. My kids know about this well. You should rap, you talk real fast. I do talk fast. I don't know how to stop it. I've tried. I'm not very good at it. So the idea is like, well, how do we get to this point of having, a skill set around something if we don't talk about it? And I realized that for me and my family, I wish in hindsight we would have talked about money more often, not in a sense of like, always how to make it, but have a discussion about it. And we never really did. And so in my head, I'm like, man, we kind of lost out a little bit. Good morning, Angela Kamstra, Jennifer Baez. So I want to talk about it a little bit. So in our household, we do discuss it. We do have conversations about it, what it means to be in debt, when you should be in debt, when you shouldn't be in debt, good debt, bad debt. We have conversations about money, how to make it, what the dollar value is, right? We want them to get this. My kids, I say them, my wife, I don't want my kids to understand it. But then I also realize that I'm in a world with adults who haven't had these talks either. I'm not saying I'm giving you, like I'm teaching you things, because I am not by any means, like I'm not Warren Buffett. Let's be real. I'm not naive. But the idea is like there are discussions that I can have. And I've realized in my life that money loves motion. And I heard at one point in time this really cool metaphor to it. And here's the metaphor. The metaphor is money is called currency for a reason, because it's current. You have to put it out so it flows back to you. I was like, oh, interesting. And I also, in the space of what I do, as I realize there's certain people that I'm around on a consistent basis, and I watch how they do stuff. I watch what they invest in. If you guys know the circle I run in of people, like, there's some high caliber individuals. They're consistently out in the world doing certain things to grow themselves and grow their business. And so what I realized, like, what do they do? I started looking at what they do. Yeah, Nancy, it's a great actual sequel. I'm like, what do they do? And what I realized is a couple things. One, they make quick decisions. I noticed this. Like they trust the gut of them. They make quick decisions. If they make sense and then they want to do it, they go. They don't like to be in that space of indecision or discomfort. And indecision happens when it's like, well, I know I want to do something. I don't know if I want to do it. And then maybe I will. So I don't do things. Indecision, right? Yesterday, I joined a program myself. I do this all the time. There's a program with a guy named Blake Brewer. And Blake Brewer is a guy that has this great story around his dad and himself. And it's a heartfelt story. It's troublesome, but he has a company called Legacy Letter. And so that you create this letter that your kids will have as a legacy when you pass. Not if, but when. Hopefully years down the line, right? He's like, here's the thing. Here's the deal. Here's what it is. And immediately I was like, you know what? What would my people do? If it sounded good and it looks like it's something that will work for me, what will I do? And literally I was like, let's do it. I told him on the phone, and he didn't even have to close me. I was like, let's do it. So he sent me the link. I paid for the link. I've already got people involved, and it's a group I put together. I paid for them. I've already got 7 of the 10 people committed, ready to rock and roll. This was within 24 hours, like less than 24 hours, paid for it off. And here's the thing. I realize what it's going to turn out to be. And I know that it's going to be great. So I'm into it. And I do this because I realize that money loves motion. Now that may not be the thing that brings money to me, but here's what I also do. I also am big on investing in things, education. I buy books almost every day. It feels like there's no way I'm going to get through all of them at any time soon. But like I constantly have them. This one came in most recently. I'm always putting things out because I want it to currently flow back to me, right? So my big thing is I want you to have this thought process of this. One, if you are always tight and hold on to it, it never comes back in the way you want it to. It just never comes back because there's no investment being made. If you don't invest, you don't get a return, right? It's pretty simple. And you got to get to the point of realizing you got to trust the part of you that has a gut that says, you know what, this is going to work. And that's the thing is, here's what I also realize is it's going to work because I'm going to work. This is a thought that I had, and it's one that kind of, these are always in my head. And I had a conversation with my team yesterday. We have a code company coming out called Content Code. And I want you to think about this message. And then I don't know if this person's paying attention. If they aren't, it's okay. If they are, it's okay. I love you. Just realize this is a thought that I want to put into the heart of this person. And a company called Content Code. Individual needs this service. Like they need us to help kind of do the social work. And when I mean social work is social creation work. And so what the conversation was like, I want to get this done. I need to grow this business. I want to get this. The only thing missing is I need social. I need this stuff in place so I can have that monster running and look the part and then also grow the business. And I'm like, great, we got that for you. We can take care of it. They're like, okay, well, let's do this. I gotta, all the excuses why I gotta slow down. I gotta think about it. I gotta mull it over. Gotta let it process. No, you don't. You know right now if it sounds good or not. If you're being honest, and I'm being honest, I know right now if it sounds good. You know if you need it. You know if it sounds good. And if there's a guarantee that can give you a window, like you do it. And the person got the phone and they went and did their life. And just, like 90% of people that leave the conversation, they never come back. I learned that in fitness. It rings true in any business I've been in for sales. And so what I find is that, when it comes down to the point of this person, they came back and said, I'm going to wait till July because, I got a lot of things going on. There's some things that are busyness. And I talked to my team and I said, look, totally get it. That person just, they're not going to come back. They're going to find some other reason or excuse or some solution that feels better, but it doesn't pressure them. And here's why, because they're not in that space where I believe we got to get to. And ask the question you got to ask yourself. And this is going to be a pokey question, but ask this question yourself. Here's the question. Would the person who has a success that I want make that excuse? Serious, down question. Would the person who has a success that this individual wants, they want to have an amazing business, they want to have like a brick and mortar portion that reaches the world, that has some social growth that reaches individuals in multiple places. Would the person who has that make that decision or say that excuse, which is essentially like, you know what? I'm too busy right now to build the business. I'm telling you, the answer is dead on no. If I went to the circle of people that I know and I told them, hey, I need this done, and they go, well, why can't you do it? Well, I'm kind of busy. I got some things going on. They'd be like, then you don't want it then. You don't want it. You don't want to have the success because I'm telling you the level of success that you want, that person who is saying like, I want the success, they will do that thing right now and 10 other things without blinking an eye. And I press this into you in your heart today to have this real truth is at the end of the day, if you want that thing, you're going to have to realize in those moments of tension, you're going to be having to push yourself a little bit past that and go into the space and ask yourself that question. I got a client that I talked to right now. He's a 10 million plus business as a client of mine. And we were having this conversation. He's like, you told me, hey, things are busy. I got a lot going on. I said, okay, you told me what you wanted, right? I literally gave him this question. What would the person who has all the success you want say right now? Would they say that to me or would they say, I got this? He said that one question dialed him in a lot. Right. So at the end of the day, I'm telling you, you're going to be met with those moments. And those are the precipice moments. It's not the one that's that one, hard work thing that I make the ass. It's the moment of, can I lean in right now and do what needs to be done, even though it creates tension? Because here's the thing. We have as humans what's called homeostasis. Homeostasis says, and it's a great book by Charles Duhigg called The Power of Habit. Homeostasis says that no matter what the change is, even if it's good, we don't like the feeling. So we sometimes don't make that change. For example, if I want to get in shape, I know that working out is going to be great for me to get in shape, but sometimes, a lot of time, it's so difficult to get it done. So difficult. Seven Nail Check, a great question. What the person has what you want? Yeah, that's you got to ask yourself. It's hard, but the truth is, at the end of the day, working out will be great for your body, but it's not your it's not your norm. Homeostasis is your norm. Anything that takes you above or below that, it feels awkward. So we fight it as humans, even if it's good for us. And so this individual, I hope they come back right in July. But the truth of the matter is that might not be a person I want to work with because I want to work with a person that's like, you know what? I know what I want. I realize it's going to be a little difficult, but I trust in my ability to work and I trust you. Let's go to work. And with this individual, there's a window, like it's not a long contract. It's like, hey, if there's no contract, if it doesn't work, like you get your money back and you keep moving, right? So what do you literally at that moment, what is the issue? It's not a financial issue. They'll say it is. I got to wait for some no, it's not a financial issue. It's an issue of self. And what's crazy, listen to this. Oh man, it's even more pokey. At the end of the day, a lot of these individuals or people that I talk to as clients are like, no, I'm good. My mindset's strong. I'm powerful. And these are the moments where I go, oh, but it's not as strong as you think it is. If we're being honest, people tell me all the time, like, because the hardest people to convince that they need to actually have some growth of mind are the people that are leaders. Those are the hardest folks because they think I got to be a leader. I can't let anybody see me sweat. I'm good. Even me, I need to be stretched in the mind every once in a while. Like I'm a guy that pushes, but I still got to have people around me that stretch my brain, make me uncomfortable. Because if not, that I will convince myself I'm great. And at the end of the day, there's always a level greater than me. Always level greater than where I'm at. The biggest room in the world is the room for improvements, people. So if you get in this space, you're looking at life and it's like, man, what I want to accomplish, what I want to do, it's not a financial issue. It's a mental issue. And you got to stretch yourself and stop having the ego protect that part of your little heart that says, no, but I want anybody to think that my mind's not strong. If it was strong, you'd make the choice. Money loves motion. That's the whole conversation thing. Money loves motion. If you want to make it, you have to make motions. You make decisions, go in action in different directions, get invested places. That's how it comes back to you. This person wants to have a business that grows. Do you think it's going to grow doing the exact same things you're doing right now until July, May, June, July? You're going to let 3 months of your entire life go by before you make a decision to be better. You don't care about that thing as much then. Or you are more interested in protecting your ego and your comfort zone than you are in building something that will serve the world. And that's okay, but that's not the ballpark I want to play in. And I don't believe it's the ballpark most people want to play in, but sometimes they're not made aware of who they are. There's a statement, I love it. It's hard to see the label when you're inside the jar. And myself included, I'm in the jar sometimes in a lot of capacities. And sometimes we are in the jar as well. And what I want you to do is take a look at that label. And if you can't, ask somebody to take a look at your label and listen to what they have to say, because sometimes it may not be what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And so that is my message to you today in some convoluted way. And I was like, man, I think that because I'm in this heart right now. Like I had a lot of time to think last week because I wasn't on live, if you remember this. And I was like, what are the things that I see people struggle with? What are the conversations? And I take copious notes. My phone is riddled. It's over there. My phone's riddled with notes and ideas from conversations I have with people. This came up a lot. And in different discussions of people doing this, I'm like, man, I'm not the guy that ever wants to have people feel uncomfortable or anything. But at the same time, you need to create tension to create motion sometimes. Like you need to create that tension so people go, oh, and you push and nudge people out of the way. So I'm hoping I'm giving you a little bit of tension today to nudge you towards that thing of whatever it is you know you need to do, but do the small part of you. I'm going to say that the small, the comfortable, the weaker, the worrisome part of you that wants you to stay in this position right here. I want you to question that motion, that feeling, that emotion, right? I want you to question, why do I feel that way? What is that feeling? Is that serving my next level? Because if it's not serving your next level, then you need to get rid of that thought. You need to find the next stage, because simple question to ask yourself, what would the person who has everything I want do in this moment right now? Yes, Judy, I do in a mastermind. It's called the Shift Accelerator. Feel free to reach out. I'll talk to you and give you all the details of what it is. Tight knit group. We do some really cool stuff. But I'm telling you, man, and my man Mel's on here. Mel, reach out, dude. Look at the text I sent you. I'm doing this thing. I'm starting next Wednesday for 4 weeks with some guys, and I would love for you to be on it, my guy. You're one of the dudes I love. But that's my message for you guys today, man. Don't let that small voice win. Get to the one that pushes you. Ask yourself that question. What would the person who has everything I want do in this decision right now? And I promise it may not feel right because it just feels awkward, but I'm telling you that feeling isn't the feeling you should trust. Trust the one that says, what does the aspiration want? What does my heart want? What would that person do? And then go do that thing. And in my life, when I've leaned into that part of it, I can never look back and say that I was unhappy with the outcome ever. I may have made poor decisions, but it taught me what to do. It sharpened the secondary nature. It's sharpened the part of me that can make quick decisions. And since then, man, it's been amazing. So hope that you can learn from this. Maybe it plants a seed and it grows later. Maybe it doesn't resonate at all. I have no idea, but I'm hoping in some way it blessed your heart, because this is just my heart coming to your heart right now through the telephone and through the wherever you're at watching me. But that's it, my friend. I love you guys. I look forward to having a great conversation with you guys on Friday, because it's hump day today. If you have not yet, go check out my daily podcast called The Shift Starter. It's The Shift Starter Daily, shiftstarterdaily.com. Go pop that into your little URL. Check it out. It's free. Outside of that, I pray you have an amazing rest of your Wednesday and an amazing week ahead. Talk to you on Friday.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.